This is Hannibal here from the Hannibal TV on YouTube with a daily wrestling news update. Tessa Blanchard has addressed why she has not been on TNA, and she did wrestle. This is interesting enough. She says she's got a boob job now, and her boobs definitely appear to be bigger in this match from October 10th, CMLL. But she says she hasn't been in TNA because of this boob job, which I guess she hasn't wrestled in TNA since July-ish. But she did wrestle for CMLL a few nights ago, and CMLL is an AEW affiliate, technically in competition with WWE's AAA company. So was this just a one-off because she had been wrestling for them before? Because from what I understand, and I've been told this by a couple people now, one of which is an agent to some people that have been in TNA, they don't hire anyone that WWE doesn't approve of because WWE has a large stake in TNA now. They could buy it. There's a clause in their deal where they could buy TNA. So I can't imagine that they would be happy that Tessa Blanchard would be wrestling for CMLL. Not that AEW is really competition for them. They only got a 0.07 rating for their Dynamite flagship show this week. And their NXT show demolishes them every week. NXT, which is affiliated with AAA. Speaking of getting demolished, The Rock's Mark Kerr movie took in less than 2 million at the box office this weekend, only 1.77 million, down 69% from the previous week. So in about 2 weeks, it's only made about $10 million. It costs $50 million to produce. Some people have said this is an independent movie. This is not an independent movie. It's been done by The Rock's $7 production that also does Dark Side of the Ring, The Fall of WC or Who Killed WCW. They do a lot of The Rock's movies. The Rock made 4 million doing this movie. The actual original documentary was an independent documentary, but this was a $50 million Hollywood film. This was not an independent movie. So people that are saying, "Oh, it's an independent movie, it's supposed to only make that." No, it cost $50 million to make. And I had a funny comment from someone saying, "Oh, Hannibal, I bet your movie is going to lose more than that." Okay, I love that I have haters. Thank you. I know that when I get haters, they're making me money, so I don't mind. But my movie only cost about $60,000 to make. Didn't cost 50 million. So if it only makes 10 million, I'm not sorry if I'm not going to lose 40 million on it. I'm not going to lose more than The Rock made because if I wish I had 50 million to make a movie with, but I didn't. And sadly, my movie was done, Blood Hunter Thirst and Rage, which is coming out for Halloween. It was a passion project. And I learned a lot. It didn't have to cost 50 grand or 60 grand, but it ended up costing that much due to me finding out the hard way about the movie business. But I'm not giving up, and hopefully the I'm going to be seeing a draft edit of it next week, so hopefully I'm going to like it. As far as Google searches, Crown Jewel, everyone says I'm hating on WWE, but here's the fact. Crown Jewel only had 115 million Google searches this weekend. That was yesterday's pay-per-view. That is about half of what they normally get for pay-per-views. 100 and this is supposed to be John Cena's big retirement tour. The last time he ever wrestled in Australia, only 115 million. You know why? Because nobody thought AJ Styles was going to beat him. And what comes out in the news today? John Cena wrote AJ Styles' introduction. So John Cena wrote what the ring announcer said to introduce AJ Styles. Isn't that cute? Then they performed a dance where zero people had any doubt that John Cena was going to win. And then they did a big hug at the end. So isn't it's so cute? Wrote a nice little entrance for him. They danced around and they hugged. Why would anybody want to watch that? And the funny thing is, they're going to lose John Cena. He only has about 3 or 4 more appearances left, and he's one of the guys that are quote unquote hot right now. And they had Cody Rhodes is not hot at all. They had him lose to Seth Rollins, but Seth Rollins beating Cody Rhodes, that's no solution to the issues of your product not being cool right now. Yeah, they should actually have had Cody win, keep him strong, and then have Brock beat Cody, because Brock is the best guy you have right now. What you lack right now is realism and coolness. Brock, although they've written some pretty stupid stuff for him lately, such as a dumb segment where Ron Killings pretends to be his brother, even though he's a different race. But Brock is your best. Brock is the guy you got to push right now. Which, by the way, there's still no um, word on what's going on with the Janelle Grant lawsuit. She hasn't said a peep since the first day Brock came back. I highly suspect we're going to hear soon that's been settled, because apparently Shane McMahon is back on the talent list for WWE. He's back as an active talent. I do think that's a good idea. Shane McMahon is more over than the vast majority of the roster. Hey, and guess what? They brought back Shinsuke Nakamura. Why the hell? Like, there's a guy nobody was asking to come back, and they brought back Shinsuke Nakamura. That's really going to fix your ratings. By the way, Marty Jannetty, this coming Wednesday, is going to do a live interview with me. So I'm looking forward to that. The Grease says she should have gotten a BBL for Tessa Blanchard. I don't know what that is. 60K did EFD kick in 306. I don't even know who EF. I don't understand these abbreviations. Story. Care to elaborate on what I learned the hard way? That it's not easier. I won't go into that much detail at this point in time, but I thought that it would be easier to make a movie than it is to promote a wrestling event. It's not. It's actually much harder. But I ended up having 3 directors on this. The first 2 were definitely not honest. The third one did it, but I was not impressed with his attitude overall. But hopefully he does a good job. That's all I can say. But yeah, there's a lot of egos you're dealing with, and it's very tough to make a movie. But I learned a lot. 100%, I learned a lot, and there's a lot of mistakes I made trusting people. Hence why it took 3 years to make, because there was a lot of people that betrayed me, because I'm a trusting person. Someone says Shinsuke Nakamura is okay, but not great. WWE will use him wrong again. He's a guy that's been around for a long time and never really been over. Thank you, The Grease, and thanks for watching, everyone. Let me know what you guys think of Tessa Blanchard getting a boob job. Is that going to be what finally gets her a push? Because from what I understand, it's her attitude issues, not the fact that I didn't even notice that she had. I mean, it's a personal decision. If it helps her confidence, good for her. Vincent Marty's a good guy, and he's going through a rough time right now, dealing with some stuff. So I'm going to be happy to talk to him him and New Jack were good buddies. Thank you, Colton. Yeah. And again, my next movie might not be a Blood Hunter movie. It might be something else, but certainly my acting superhero and clips do well on here. They get millions and millions of views, and they're fun to do. So it's a fun passion project for me. Yeah, I mean, the intros in wrestling are too long for sure. There's not enough action, there's not enough realism, and it's too overly produced. It doesn't seem like realistic at all to me. It just seems like a bunch of geeky writers wrote this stuff and they're just out there reciting lines. They just they all put each other over and they don't even try to kayfabe. As Cody Rhodes said publicly on the WWE Unreal show, they actually did a show calling it Unreal. Cody Rhodes says it's like a dance. Here's the thing also about doing an Unreal show. I recently watched an interview with Al Pacino, one of the greatest actors ever, where he was asked how in Scarface they faked the scenes where he's doing you know what. And he said, I'm not going to tell you that because it's going to take away the magic of the movie. And that's one of the problems in wrestling now. There's no more magic. The magic is gone. You can say, well, acting's fake. What does it matter? If he says, well, you still got to keep if you put it all out there that it's a bunch of geeky writers writing all your stuff and it's all choreographed and planned out and you guys are all friends in real life, why would I want to watch this?